Hello friends, I'm Mary and welcome to Rocky Mountain Gardens. Today I'm going to be joining Jamie at Board or Bananas for her monthly Flippin' Fridays. And oh my goodness, I was able finally to get out and do some garage sale shopping. We had our very first neighborhood garage sales recently, so I found some real treasures. At one of the homes that I visited, they had a huge treasure trove of old frames, and I found some beautiful ones. Look at this oval shaped one, isn't it gorgeous? And I just love all the detail on it. It's so pretty. That was such an exciting find. It was just $1.50 for this frame. And then I got this larger frame also with much detail on it. And look how large it is. Just beautiful. And I have plans for these because I have been on the hunt for some frames, some vintage frames for a while. And boy, I had the choice of whatever I wanted at this one garage sale. So what a thrill that was to get that. And today we're going to be doing some work with them and showing you how I'm going to be using them in my decor. Now, the other thing I found today was this beautiful eyelet runner. It's really, quite long. Isn't it pretty? Very vintage, and I have plans for this as well that I'll be showing you a little later in another video. But the opportunity to purchase some vintage linens was just fantastic. So I did get a couple of other lace pieces. This one looks like it was hand crocheted to me. And then lastly, I don't think this is a vintage piece, but it was quite pretty. I like the design, and as I use a lot of lace in my decor, I'm always looking for more to add to my collection. So guys, we're gonna go over to my island in my kitchen and start working on my frames and changing them to the look that I would like to have in my own home. So see you over in my kitchen. The first task for flipping my frames is painting. So I have some varying sized brushes to use depending on what's needed. And I have the ever faithful Waverly white chalk paint, which is fantastic for covering. And we'll see if I need to give one or two coats. And lastly, I believe I'm going to be using this silver leaf rub and buff, which is one of my favorite products because you probably know if you've been with me for a while that I do not really like gold colors. Yellows and oranges and reds are not my favorites, but I do love silver and white and, all the pastels. So in any case, let's get going on the painting. Here you can see that I have begun painting with the chalk paint, and I am using, especially on the raised detail that you see on this frame, I like to use sort of a swirling motion with my paintbrush because it really does get into all those little crevices when you have an ornate frame with lots of detail work on it. It's a very effective way to make sure you're covering the finish, whatever it is below, with your paint. And guys, I want to also say that I almost forgot to mention this, that Flippin' Fridays is a collaboration that Jamie at Board or Bananas hosts for us each month. And so down below in my description box, you will find a playlist which will give you access to all the other creators who are participating in Flipping Fridays, which is really fun because you can get tons of wonderful ideas for decor in your own home and ways to take thrifted items and make them new again just for you, for your decor. And here you can see now I'm doing the larger frame, which has really a lot of detail work and is very ornate. Now we're going to go to adding the rub and buff, which is sort of an oily feeling product, and you just need to squeeze a small dab on a soft cloth. You can see how I'm doing this here. And you kind of dab it in so you don't have a big glob that you're going to be adding on to the raised surfaces of your frame. And as you can see, I'm doing the beaded part around the inside of the oval, the detailed edges of the frame, and then also those little ornate sort of raised details right there that you can see on the corners of the frame. And I used actually an old baby blanket for this and cut just a square off it so that I could use it simply for this part of the job of restoring these frames to my taste. Now here I'm also adding that same rub and buff on the raised surfaces of the frame. And then I took the rest of the baby blanket that you can see here, and this is the buffing part. You take a clean, soft cloth and just buff out those areas that you have added the rub and buff to, and you just kind of buff it up and it turns a little bit more bright and shiny. And you can do this on all these different parts of your frame, and then you get this wonderful effect. Isn't that pretty? Take a look at that close-up. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to use this in my decor later this year. But here I'm giving you a little look at how I've set this up in a vignette and how you might use this in your home as well. It was so fun to be here with you today and showing you a little bit about what I am doing with my vintage finds. So, and you know, how I flip them. And I will see you again in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you join me here at Rocky Mountain Gardens.